Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today in this video I am back to doing a CC build. Since my last build I didn't use any. So yeah, I decided to come back with a smaller one. This is an apartment in the world of Samai Shuno. It's the world that comes with city living. And I'm building on one of those apartments where the default is like a super tall wall height. So what you see me doing now, or what I just did, was just adding platforms to make it like not so tall. Because I feel like the decorating can look a little awkward with wall heights that are too tall. So yeah, the floor plan is already finished up. I made this apartment for just a single sim. But you could definitely fit more than that. There's 2 rooms. I used one as a bedroom and the other as a home office, but the home office could be turned into another bedroom for sure. But yeah, on the first platform over here, this is where I put the kitchen. And I really revolved the vibes of this apartment around the kitchen, like the dark woods and everything. And also the flooring and wallpaper. So the vibe I was going for was like a moody apartment, but not just with grays and blacks, like with browns as well. And definitely more like upper class. Like the sim I pictured living here when I was decorating was like a businessman or something. Just because the decorations are kind of masculine. Um, But yeah, and kind of like industrial, but like a soft industrial vibe. Like not like metals or anything, but just that color scheme. And these counters are from Felix Andre. They're the London counters. And I've never built using the swatch before, but I just thought it looked so perfect in here. Especially because I changed the wallpaper in the back to a brick for the kitchen, and I just think the contrast is really nice. And I also add a dining table in here. I usually do kitchen islands, and I thought about doing that, but I just like the dining table better. I think it fills out the space nicely, and then your Sims have more places to sit. And the dining table is from a new CC set that I just downloaded. It's the Charlie Pancakes and I think Pierre Sim collaboration. It's called Precious Promises. It looks like a wedding CC set, but when I downloaded it, there was just so much more that could be used like in any Sims build, not just a wedding. So, very happy with that. And now I'm just cluttering up the kitchen. And I just usually cut out me picking out all the clutter because it takes a while, but you will see me like place everything. But yeah, I uploaded my last video yesterday, and this one is probably going to go up today just because it's ready, so I didn't really feel like waiting. But after this, my next build will probably be CC again as well. I'm thinking it might be another apartment, but maybe one of the penthouse apartments where there's 2 stories. But if not, I'll probably do an actual house. Or like apartment buildings, but where I build the exterior, not like this one where the exterior is already built. But anyways, I switched out the stove and decided to put a double one in here because it just fills out the space better. And yeah, so now I'm just cluttering up the dining table. I added a bowl of lemons, a plant, and then I added that really cute toast holder that I always forget that I have, but I saw it and I was like, okay, this looks so cute, so I put it in there. And then I just put a rug down, and I'm just finishing off the kitchen by adding a trash can. And then I also add, it's a little vase, but it's filled with corkscrews for wine bottles, so I end up adding that in the corner next to a plant. And then I also add like corkscrew artwork in here. It's like something from the Nectar set by Tuds. It's like a bunch of wine themed decorations, so I add some things from there. And the reason you just saw a fence in the apartment is I was thinking of a way to make it look more separated, but I decided that it might look a little weird. And with the platform, I think it already looks separated, so I decided to just get rid of that. In here, I'm placing the wine rack from that CC set I was talking about, and then there's the vase. And here's the shelving unit. So most of the furniture in here is going to be that dark wood. But yeah, and I just clutter this up with random things. I don't use a lot of books in the clutter on this. I mean, I use some, but not as much as I usually would. And that's because of the home office in this house. There's an enormous bookshelf, like covering the whole wall pretty much. And I saved all the book clutter for that mainly. Yeah, as you can see, I still added some. And then I just took out random little clutter things, kind of that look more like sculptures and photos. And now I'm moving on to the living room space. I use these curtains everywhere. They're from the Domain set by Pearson, I believe. And I just think that they looked so good with this apartment. Usually in houses, I go for the organic curtains, but I wanted something a little bit fancier, and I thought that these worked well because they flare out at the bottom. And then I just filled this area up with the sofa from the Slouch set by Charlie Pancakes. And here I was debating on putting a fireplace, and I do end up putting one. I was debating because, like, it's an apartment, but also the fireplace I used, I think, looks like one that doesn't work anymore. It's the one that's filled with candles. So I decided to go for that one to make it look like maybe not as strange that there's a fireplace here. And then I just used my favorite pillows to clutter up this couch. They're from the Grove set by Felix Andre. And then I'm just adding just some random lighting. And also the screenshots of this build are my favorite that I've ever taken in the game because the lighting in this apartment is just so pretty. You can see it like on the floor from the windows. It just looks so nice. Yeah, now I'm just putting together some rugs. I layered two on top of each other just because I wanted it to look extra cozy. And that blanket on the couch, I end up getting rid of it because it just wasn't like looking the way I wanted it to. And I didn't update my tool mod, so I couldn't like really fix it that much. Actually, at this time, I think that it was updated, but I still just got rid of it. And now I'm just cluttering up this side table. Another reason why I really wanted to get back to CC builds again is because there's just so many clutter options. Like in The Sims, there's basically zero compared to this, especially with candles. And I put them everywhere, so that was really nice. And then I just cluttered up the fireplace a little bit, and I added a TV, one of the ones that doubles as a painting, but your Sims still use it as a TV. And then I'm just cluttering up this little hallway space with, I was going to use a big bookshelf, but I went for these shelves instead just because they're different, and there's already shelving units throughout the house. And then I used this chair. I thought that it worked so well in this apartment. Yeah, I really enjoyed furnishing in this style. I'm currently in the process of filming townhouses, and one of the styles I decorate in is also this one. But I haven't gone back to decorating that in a while because I wanted to do an apartment version of it. But if I end up liking those townhouses, then you'll see something similar to this style inside of those too. And now I'm doing the area where your Sims walk in. I'm just cluttering up this side table, or this hallway table. But yeah, when your Sims walk in, they go up some steps to get on the first platform, and then another set of steps to go up to the kitchen, but the rest of the house is level with the living room. And this is the part where I realized that the Sim probably has such a nice apartment because they have their own business, so I added a little briefcase by the front door just to kind of get that across. And as well with having like a nice home office, it just made sense. And I'm just adding some random things to fill up this dresser. And then I just add a coat rack. This one is also from Tud's. It's from the Beacon bedroom and hallway set, I believe. But I use that one because you can hang out on the wall so it doesn't take up as much space. And now I'm moving on into the bathroom. The majority of this set is the estate bathroom set, also from Felix Andre. I use a lot of his stuff in this build because it has a lot of those really nice dark brown swatches. So yeah, the shower, the bath, the toilet, and the sink are all from the estate set, as well as that mirror. And then I just use clutter from a bunch of different bathroom CC sets. And I don't think I've said this for a while in some of my other builds, but I don't currently have the CC I used linked in the description or anything. But if someone asks for it, I will link it. But yeah, so now I'm just cluttering up the sink area. And this apartment actually took me a total of 3 hours to decorate. I just wanted to put so much detail in it and just make it look really lived in. Now I'm finishing up the bathroom. I just add a nice little shelf, and then I put some shampoos and just some bath things I'd imagine on it. And something that was really nice for this apartment was these oil paintings that I downloaded. They're from Suki, and they're the vintage oil paintings, and they're just so nice. There's like 1,000 swatches for every single one, and that just really matched the vibes for this. And now I'm moving on to the one bedroom of the house, or the apartment. And I skipped over picking out a bed and a bed frame because I actually replace it with this one from the Octave set. And I replace it because that headboard and the bed were clipping together. So I just added one that was from a matching set so that wouldn't happen. But yeah, I absolutely love this bedroom. It's one of my favorite bedrooms I've ever furnished, probably, for like an adult sim, because it just looks so pretty. And there's a very nice walk-in wardrobe. Yeah, so I'm just cluttering up this dresser over here. And then on the opposite wall of the bed, I just add a huge mirror. But yeah, I didn't add too much in here because there is a home office, so I didn't need to add like activities. And decorating the wardrobe was very fun for me because I normally don't decorate them for male Sims. I usually just decorate them like really fancy and just very colorful. But I used a lot of the dark swatches of the clothing to match this apartment. So I just thought it was really nice because I don't normally go for those swatches of the clothing. But yeah, I also imagine that the Sim who lives here travels quite a lot. So I put some suitcases in the wardrobe as well. And then I added a stool that matches the chair in the hallway, just to tie everything together. And now I'm just picking out lighting. And now I've moved on to the walk-in wardrobe. This is from the lavish set, all of the decorations, the bags, the boxes, and the wardrobe itself. And then the suitcases are from other sets, as well as the other decorations that I put on the shelves to the left. So now I'm just adding random clutter that I think could be in a walk-in wardrobe. Normally over on this side is where I would put all the purses and jewelry, but I just didn't see that for this sim. I didn't think it really matched what I was going for. But in the end, I really like how it turned out. And I end up switching that walkway into a walkway for medium wall height just to fill out the space better. And here I'm adding that huge mirror, and then I add another picture, and that is the bedroom. Now I'm moving on to the home office. It's pretty small, but it has everything that it needs. I even put a little printer on like a nightstand in the corner, and I just love that printer. I think it's the cutest thing in the world. And this chair is from the Berlin set. It's by Felix Andre again, like most things in this build. But then the rest is just from random office sets. And the huge bookshelf that I end up adding to the wall opposite of the desk is from the Chateau set. So I'm just cluttering up the desk, once again making it really lived in. And I wanted to add this little tic-tac-toe looking board, but I ended up getting rid of it because I didn't have room to put it anywhere. But that's why that's just laying there. And now I'm just filling in the bookshelves, so I definitely saved most of the book clutter for in here. And something that helps me with figuring out how I want to decorate bookshelves is I'll put the things that aren't books down first usually, and then I'll just fill in all those empty spaces with the books. And then once I do that, any extra spaces I'll just fill in with plants or like sculptures. And that's usually my process for doing big bookshelves like this. And I just added the printer I was talking about, a plant, and I add this really cute rug from the Clutter Cat. And then I just add like a little board that looks like work is being figured out on it. I don't know, you'll see what I mean. But that is all, so I'm going to end this voiceover right here. There's very pretty screenshots at the end if you want to see. And that is it. Bye.